Hey there, it's Seb Fry the Realtor here. Hey, have you heard that the Bay Area is in some kind of doom loop? That it's in a downward spiral from which it will never ever recover? That it's only a matter of time before the last person leaves the Bay Area and shuts the lights off? If you've heard that, well, guess what? You're definitely going to want to watch this video. You know, I'm a Bay Area native. I was actually born here. I spent most of my life here, but importantly, not all of my life here. I've been to about half the states, and I've been to somewhere around 50 countries internationally. And, the world's a big, beautiful place, and there's lots of great places to visit and some nice places to live, but I personally think that on balance, the Bay Area is an amazing place. And ever since I was a kid, I've heard those jokes, hey, will the last person to leave California, please shut off the lights. Ha ha, very funny. But actually, what I've seen over the course of my life, now 52 years, I've seen the Bay Area go from success to success. Like it's really a juggernaut that just keeps on getting bigger and in many respects better. Of course, we have many challenges, right? The high cost of housing, traffic is terrible. The homelessness is, certainly becoming kind of an epidemic, I guess you would say. And so we definitely have our challenges, but I think what is so often lost in the discussion is all the tremendous strengths that the Bay Area has. And so I asked the internet's number one celebrity, the person that everyone seems to know these days, what we should know about the Bay Area. What are the facts about the Bay Area? So here is what your friend and mine, ChatGPT, has to say about the San Francisco Bay Area. Let's take a look. So I asked ChatGPT, hey, what U.S. metro regions have the highest percentage of residents with graduate and professional degrees? Guess what? Bay Area comes in at number 2. I also asked ChatGPT, hey, what U.S. metro areas have the highest median household income? Guess what? Number 1, San Jose, Sunnyvale, Santa Clara. Guess what number 2 is? That's right, San Francisco, Oakland, and Hayward. Number 1 and number 2 in the USA, right here in the San Francisco Bay Area. Now, what U.S. metro areas have the highest median income for women? Good question. Guess what? San Francisco, number 1, highest median income in the U.S. for women. So I also asked ChatGPT, hey, what U.S. metro areas have the most economic opportunities? And, you hear so much about how California, with all the taxes and the regulation, right, it just kills business. But guess what? San Francisco Bay Area, number 1 for most economic opportunities of any metro in the United States. So I also asked ChatGPT, hey, what U.S. metro areas have the healthiest populations? And you know what? The Bay Area is not number 1 on this list, but 1, 2, 3, and 4 are in fact very beautiful places and are generally speaking much smaller than the Bay Area. But number 5 and number 6, San Jose and San Francisco here in the Bay Area. Now here's a good one. What U.S. metro areas have the longest life expectancy? No surprise, Hawaii comes in at number 1, but number 2, San Jose, California, and number 3, San Francisco, California. Not too shabby. Now, what U.S. metro areas are most appealing to immigrants? And this one actually is kind of surprising to me because I've always thought of the Bay Area as being very immigrant friendly and welcoming to immigrants. But it seems that New York City, number 1, LA, boo, number 2, Miami, and then the Bay Area is number 4. But, not so bad. And I can't really blame them for, choosing New York, number 1 because I love New York. Now, what U.S. metro areas have the most diverse populations? Well, again, not really surprising, I guess. New York is number 1 and LA is number 2. But San Francisco Bay Area is in fact the 3rd most diverse population in the United States in terms of metro areas. And, I really feel that is one of the biggest strengths that we have here is the diversity of our population. I also asked ChatGPT, hey, what U.S. metro areas have the most tolerant population? And is it any surprise that the San Francisco Bay Area is the number 1 most tolerant metro area in the United States? It's not a surprise to me because growing up as a kid, I was always taught to be tolerant and that tolerance is really a civic virtue and that intolerance is basically a vice and something to be shunned and avoided at all costs. So very, very proud to see that the Bay Area is the most tolerant population in the United States. I also wanted to know what U.S. metro areas receive the most venture capital investments, and could it be any surprise that the Bay Area is number 1? No real surprise there. We are so cutting edge in all of the technology which is receiving all that venture capital around the world. I also asked ChatGPT, hey, which U.S. metro areas receive the most foreign direct investment? Number 1, New York. Number 2, LA. And number 3, San Francisco. So not number 1 there, but still pretty high up on the list. Now, which U.S. metro areas hold the most patents? Could it be number 1, San Jose, Sunnyvale, Santa Clara, and number 2, San Francisco, Oakland, Hayward? Why, yes, it is. Not surprising considering how many innovative and amazing people we have working here in the Bay Area. Now, which U.S. metro areas have the most world-class universities? Boston, Beantown, number 1. Of course, there are some amazing universities there in Beantown for sure. But number 2, San Francisco Bay Area, of course, anchored by UC Berkeley, go Bears, and of course, Stanford. Now, which U.S. metro regions have the most cultural attractions? Any surprise there? New York's number 1. God, I love New York. Kind of LA, number 2. That's very surprising. What do they got? Disneyland? I don't know. Number 3, Chicago. I was just in Chicago. Wonderful town. A lot of great things to see and do there for sure. And number 4 is the Bay Area. All right, so which U.S. metro areas have the most opportunities for outdoor activities? Number 1, Denver. Number 2, Portland. Number 3, Seattle. Been to all those places, and they do have great outdoor activities. But coming in at number 4, the San Francisco Bay Area has the 4th most outdoor opportunities of any U.S. metro in the United States. Now, which U.S. cities do most people want to visit? Well, no surprise, New York is number 1, and L.A. is number 2, and that's because of all the films. They glamorize L.A. like it's some great place. And number 3, of course, San Francisco, California. Now, which U.S. metro areas have the best weather? The best weather, good question. Number 1, San Diego. I gotta say, San Diego, they do have amazing weather down there. Number 2, L.A. A little hot for me, but okay. Number 2, L.A. Number 3, Honolulu, Hawaii. Yeah, it's really hard to beat Hawaii when it comes to great weather. But number 4, of course, San Francisco, California. I also asked ChatGPT to rate major U.S. metro areas according to quality of life. Now, this is obviously somewhat arbitrary, but guess what? San Francisco Bay Area, number 1. And speaking of subjective questions, I also asked ChatGPT, which are the most beautiful metro areas in the world? And Paris, France, number 1. Venice, Italy, number 2. Prague in the Czech Republic, number 3, which I love Prague. Love it, love it. But number 7, San Francisco, USA, is in fact one of the most beautiful metro areas in the world. Do you see Dallas, Texas on there? No, you don't. And then I asked ChatGPT perhaps the most important question of all. Which U.S. metro area has the best burritos? Any surprise there? Number 1, San Francisco, California has the best burritos in the United States. And if that's not a good reason to stick around, I don't know what else is. Now, of course, ChatGPT is not perfect. We all know that ChatGPT does give wrong answers. Like, for example, most beautiful city in the world, of course, it's San Francisco, not Paris. So, ChatGPT isn't perfect. And that is not to say that California and the Bay Area do not have lots of challenges, especially with homelessness, obviously, is a major problem. The high cost of housing, certainly a very, very big problem, which does threaten to strangle the amount of growth we're going to have going forward. And of course, traffic, obviously a very, very big problem here. But there are so many positive things going on here in the Bay Area that I am absolutely certain that it will continue to be a wonderful place to have a career and to live and to raise a family and to own real estate for many, many years to come. All right, well, that's all I have for this video. I really hope you have enjoyed watching it. And if you have enjoyed watching it, I'm guessing that you might also enjoy some of these videos over here. These are some of the most popular videos here on my YouTube channel, so please do take a look at those. And I would love it if you would give me a like on this video. That would be terrific. And please subscribe to my channel. Thank you so very much for watching. I really appreciate it. And please stay tuned.